That's intriguing. To know what really happened to him.
Revelio.
This mentions in theory something about it being Bardolph's turn next.
Revelio. Arresto momentum.
Settle yourself. I mean you no harm.
Revelio.
This place has seen better days. Upper Hogsfield. Now where to find Mrs. Sprottle?
Upper Hogsfield is being terrorised by Ranrock's loyalists. It's not right.
Tips in the hat, if you please.
Madame Beaumont, I believe I have some news of your brother.
Bardolph? What do you know of my brother?
I regret to say that Bardolph had been turned into an Inferius, and I had to kill him.
What? But how could you possibly think that an Inferius was my brother Bardolph? That's absurd.
He was wearing a woolen jumper, hand-knitted.
No. No. This can't be.
I'm truly sorry. I wish it had been better news. I wish you well, Madame Beaumont.
What more could I have done? Oh, Bardolph! Bardolph, my dear, dear brother.
If you know.
I couldn't help but overhear. Did you mention Ranrock's loyalists?
I did. My apologies. I've not been myself since we last met. Ranrock and his followers have set up camp here. No regard for our beloved hamlet or our livelihoods. Ruthless. It's Ranrock I have to thank for losing Bardolph. If only I could somehow rid our hamlet of these monsters. I'm simply at my wit's end.
You said Ranrock's loyalists have set up camp here. Where, precisely?
To the south, across the river. Last I heard, there were several loyalists in each camp. I won't go near them.
Why don't you simply leave the area for now?
Upper Hogsfield is my home. Bardolph and I grew up here. I can't believe he's never coming home. Part of me wants to avenge the loss of my brother, whilst another part of me simply wants to hide.
I'm unfortunately quite familiar with Ranrock's loyalists. Perhaps I can do something.
Much as I would love to be rid of them, I wouldn't want you to risk injury, or worse. Please be cautious. We should not have to live in fear. This is our home.
I could use some gold.
A map. I wonder where it leads.
Revelio. Aloha Mora.
Tip in the hat. Stingy.
Revelio.
It seems as though things are getting worse. Best be on my guard.
New instruments are expensive, you know. I remember you. Your generosity helped me afford this rather exotic snake contraption. Very Salazar, isn't it? Tips in the hat, if you please.
Honest day's work and honest sixpence. That's my key.
Protego.
Nothing over here.
Revelio.
Who's that?
Accio. Confringo.
I will make you pay. Regret coming here.
Protego. Stupefy. Confringo. Expelliarmus.
I won't rest.
Levioso.
Coming out at once. You up.
Stupefy. Expelliarmus.
I won't rest.
Protego.
You're no match for me. suffering, do you?
Such Expelliarmus! Stupefy! Confringo! Accio! Expelliarmus! Confringo! Accio!
There you are. How nice of you to say.
Accio! Expelliarmus!
Are you sure you're not a muggle?
Stupefy!
I'm a doctor! How is this happening?
Expelliarmus! Stupefy! Incendio! Lumos! Depulso! Glacius! Defendo!
Ranrock has fooled you all.
Revelio!
Both camps cleared. Madame Beaumont will be glad to hear that.
I remember you. Your generosity helped me afford this rather exotic snake contraption.
I do miss the bustle of business.
Hello, Madame Beaumont. Good news. I was able to clear out Ranrock's camps.
You cleared them out. How?
I managed to catch them off guard.
I wish my brother could have done what you did. Perhaps he'd still be with me now. I'm especially grateful. You did, for Bardolph, what I could not. You saved our hamlet, my young friend. This will not be forgotten. I fear for other hamlets, truly. Ranrock and his lot are unlike any goblins I've ever seen.
I should be going now. Thank you.
I should have done more. Thank you. Sincerely.
My father used to enchant his handmade kites and soar around our house.
Nice to see you again, Mrs. Sprottle. Actually, Serona Ryan asked if I'd come and see you.
Oh, dear Serona, a gem, has been for as long as I've known her.
She thought you might need help collecting ingredients for your Wiggenweld potion.
And she's correct. My darling Aidan used to collect hawk lumps for me. Since he died, my supply has dwindled.
I'm sorry for your loss, Mrs. Sprottle.
Oh, thank you. Love of my life. A bit lost without him. If you wouldn't mind gathering some hawk lumps for me, I'd be happy to compensate you for your time.
Believe it or not, I have some with me.
Oh, thank you. How wonderful. The travelling vendors will be thrilled to replenish their stock of Wiggenweld potion.
Serona also mentioned that Mr. Sprottle was bringing her a box of letters when he fell ill.
Indeed he was. I'd almost forgotten. I stumbled upon it just before Aidan died. He was hoping to go through it with Serona over a butterbeer or two. Those two were always like two bowtruckles in a branch. Aidan took ill when he was collecting hawk lumps on his way to see her. He made it home, but I fear he dropped the box in the cavern. The cavern is in the hills just southwest of our hamlet. You can gather hawk lumps and collect the box of letters there.
Serona said she lived with you during the summers when she was at Hogwarts. What was she like?
Oh, goodness. Well, she was almost exactly like she is now. Charming, good head on her shoulders, taking care of everyone. I can't tell you the fun we had when she and her friends would visit us during the year, all buzzing about, practicing charms. Talented group. Her friend Mirabelle was a genius in the garden. Learned it all from her muggle parents, if you can believe it.
Thank you, Mrs. Sprottle.
Thank you. I'll be here if you are able to collect those hawk lumps. I and the vendors I help would greatly appreciate it.
An astronomy table. Should prove useful once the sun's down. This must be the cavern Mrs. Sprottle mentioned. Leave the hawk lumps to Mrs. Sprottle, but I still need to visit the cave to find... Better have a look around. See about the hawk lumps and the box of letters. That's all the hawk lumps for now. Mrs. Sprottle should be pleased.
Revelio. Confringo. Lumos. Incendio. Lumos. Revelio.
Either I'll have to fight that troll, or...
Confringo. Expelliarmus. Potato. Stupefy. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Levioso. Incendio. Repulso. Confringo. Potato. Expelliarmus. Confringo. Incendio. Compulso. Glacius. Defendo. Descendo. Arresto momentum. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Depulso. Glacius. Incendio. Defendo. Potato. Revelio.
This must be Sirona's box of letters. I should take this box of letters to Sirona. I think that's everything.
Confringo. Accio.
Is that you, Roylance?
Not a day goes by.
Worried that my nephew's asleep.
I'm sure you had your reasons, but breaking into Alfred Lawley's home was...
Hello, Sirona. I have good news. I was able to provide your friend Mrs. Sprottle with some hawk clumps for her Wiggenweld potion, and I found your box of letters.
Oh, thank you. I knew you were the one to ask.
I wondered about some of the letters in the box.
Of course. It appears most of the letters were from fellow students.
One of the letters mentions Quidditch practice. Did you play?
I did. Was the Ravenclaw Seeker for 3 years. Oh, Merlin's beard. I adore Quidditch. Nothing like the feeling of catching the golden snitch when your team's down by 140 points. I'll never forgive Professor Black for cancelling it this year. I missed cheering for Ravenclaw.
I saw a letter from someone named Mirabelle. Is that Professor Garlick?
It is. Still one of my dearest friends. I know she wouldn't mind you having seen that letter. She and I are of a similar mind, especially when it comes to young people. We believe experience to be an invaluable teacher. To borrow a phrase from Mirabelle, it's a joy to see anyone blossom, but particularly one who doubted they ever would.
I spotted a letter from you to Mrs. Sprottle. You two seem to have a lot of fun together.
We do. She taught me so much during my summers with her and Aidan. I shall be the first to admit that adolescents aren't always the easiest to understand, and not everyone was as kind to me as the Sprottles. But the depth of their kindness, and that of so many of my friends, got me through... well, got me through some challenging times, to put it mildly.
I'm glad I could be of help. Mrs. Sprottle sends her best.
Don't know what I'd have done without her and Aidan. Thank you, again, for helping her, and for returning this box of letters. It's nice to reflect on good memories.